So, despite the cross-section that you see featured on MSNBC, not all Democrats are raving lunatics, ignorant buffoons, or hateful bigots. There are plenty of even-keeled Democrats out there who don't constantly spew the kind of visceral, crazy talk that we hear from most left-wing pundits and Democratic politicians. But every once in a while, something happens that sends these usually even-tempered Democrats reeling. And I think it's a safe bet that ever since Paul Ryan was announced as Mitt Romney's vice presidential running mate, Democrats have been, well, kind of rattled by the surge in the polls that Romney is seeing, surge in fundraising, especially after he's already, with the RNC, outraised Barack Obama and the DNC combined for 3 months in a row. And he's headed into the conventions with a huge cash-on-hand advantage over the Obama campaign. This is an incumbent president. So I thought it would be fun to take a look at a few examples of what happens when these particular Democrats lose it. Now, I know that Stephanie Cutter is not the most pleasant woman in the world to listen to or look at or be around or think about, but she's not a nut. So I was taken aback when she said this on Face the Nation.
I think that the most important criteria is the person at the top having the judgment on foreign policy that you need in a commander-in-chief. And I think that we saw just a week and a half ago that Mitt Romney didn't have it. He went on a foreign policy trip and ended up insulting every one of our allies and embarrassing this country.
Yes, you're so right, Stephanie. Like, oh God, remember when he was caught on tape dissing the Israeli prime minister? Remember complaining to President Sarkozy about having to deal with Netanyahu? Oh, so insulting. And especially because just months earlier, he had tried to dictate Israeli foreign policy. I mean, suggesting starting terms for the negotiations, telling the Israelis how to conduct negotiations with the Palestinians. How embarrassing. And oh God, let's not forget his comment about Polish death camps. Oh, so embarrassing, though not quite as embarrassing as when he was overheard telling Dmitry Medvedev that he would have more flexibility after the election, so that he was going to sell us out to the Ruskies, but only after this November election. And oh God, I mean, remove the bust of Winston Churchill from the White House and then lying about it and getting caught lying about it. God, how insulting. What an insult to our greatest ally. Yes, I think we can all agree that nobody that stupid and prone to embarrassing the United States is fit to be our commander-in-chief. Now, I like Juan Williams. He seems like a nice guy, and although he's wrong a lot of the time, he articulates his points, usually, without raising his voice or being disrespectful to others or saying batcrap insane things, usually. But then, this past Monday on the O'Reilly Factor, well, just take a look. They're talking about Todd Akin.
Democrats let them roam free and do a lot of damage.
And also, what about
And also, what about Stephanie Cutter and what she said?
You two Republican women are running fast. It is funny to see here on the
Running
practice.
fast from what? I'm not running fast from anything.
Not
at all. I'm just happy that our nominee came out for women.
If the margin right now increases with American women for Obama, there is no chance, and that's what this guy has done. He has said something so offensive that even Republicans are running for the hills.
Now, it may be confusing what just happened there. Basically, they were talking about the press conference Obama had held on Monday, and Didi Banky, who was the woman you saw there in that triple shot, who was not Laura Ingraham, suggested that Obama didn't really want to do this press conference, and he only did it so that he could condemn what Todd Aiken said, which I'm not going to repeat, but he only did it for that reason. And I could tell from Juan's reaction, look at him, that he was not expecting that and was trying to figure out a way to, looky here, he's obviously trying to listen to Laura Ingraham as she asked him the next question, and at the same time think of a way to wrest control of this narrative after Didi has already broached the subject and put her spin on it. It really is very funny. And let's just move on to the next one. Finally, I want to show you a clip of something I heard Simon Rosenberg say on Fox News. If you don't know who Simon Rosenberg is, then he is the president and founder of the New Democrat Network. Okay, roll it.
What we now know about Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan is that their obsession with lowering taxes is going to blow a hole in the deficit and deprive the country of needed investment money that creates growth over the long haul.
Now, when I saw that, I kind of did a double take, because I know that Simon Rosenberg is not a stupid man, and yet just think about what he's saying. Take what he's saying at face value. We need to confiscate more private capital through taxation so that we can use that additional money for investment. First of all, it sounds like he's saying, well, we're not going to use that to reduce the deficit. We already have a huge budget deficit, yet we need to tax more money so that we can spend it. But even more insane than that, he's saying we need to take more money out of the private economy, money that some of which would be used for investment, so that the government can invest that money, because the government has such a great track record when it comes to picking winners and losers. I mean, really, this is just so inane on its face that it's obviously not something a sane person would have said. I really think that Simon Rosenberg was rattled. He didn't misspeak. If you notice, then this wasn't made in the heat of an argument. This wasn't even made in a kind of visceral tone like Williams and Cutter. But, who knows? Anyway, I think that is about all for today. I want to encourage you to please check out my blog. By the way, I have noticed the blog's been getting a lot more views, so thank you, those of you who have been checking it out and sharing it with your friends and colleagues. I appreciate that, but you need to comment on the articles. Follow me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter as well. Thank you for watching, and as always, don't mess with the right-wing genius.